Station! What's up, everybody? Welcome here to Pop Culture Philosophers for a random Wednesday night stream. Yeah, we were just live not too long ago. Wasn't Robbie on earlier? Yes. Weren't you on earlier as well? Yes. 2 times the Robbie. Double station. Hell yeah. Station. Anyway, how are y'all doing? I wanted to go live because I've had a fun YouTube night. We did Talking Comics Live, had Jim Mint show up. Then I stopped over to Hilea's channel and checked out his newly rebranded Behind the Comics with Bueller from Comics with Bueller, who's in the house right now. So is Herminio, Fable, Dragon Saiyan Slots, so many others. Perry's in the house. Station. Ha. I got some things to say about what happened earlier. Anyway, so it's been a fantastic, fun comic book night. And I just wanted to point out a trifecta of something. I see people, and we're just hanging out for probably 45 minutes or so. So anything, AMA, anything you want to ask, throw it out. Where is it? Let's see. Herminio says, Bueller, you made me go get Taco Bell today. I didn't have Taco Bell today. I'm going to have it tomorrow. But this is a weird trifecta of Taco Bell that has happened over the course of the last 24 hours here on Comics YouTube that I do want to point out because I don't believe in coincidence. I believe in synchronicity. So I'll say this. It starts like this. Tomorrow or yesterday, I get home and I'm about to start reading my comics for the weekly comic book review. And in the mail from Twitch, I get this amazing fan art. It's Dr. Doom and Tostadas. It's like a whole series, right? But, obviously inspired by some of the chats we have here at PCP. So I think these are absolutely fantastic and amazing, and I love them. So I got these Tostadas because you know me, and I love my Taco Bell Tostadas, and they've gotten rid of them. And I've already talked about my grievances as far as that goes. Then Bueller this morning, and so then last night I show those off on my weekly comic book review. And then this morning, Bueller releases his preview video. And I'm watching it, and he hits his goal of 1,000 likes or whatever, and he eats 2 chalupas at the end of the video. And I love Bueller so much, and I love, because this is something that I wish I would have thought of. Like, Bueller totally, committed to it, kind of, and literally just ate 2 chalupas. Now, he sped up the end. Me, myself, I wouldn't have done that, okay? So, but then you go. Now, by the way, he's been promoting this on his videos for weeks, talking about this damn chalupa thing. So I haven't had a chalupa in years because I was always a gordita guy. Now there are less gorditas, more chalupas on the menu because they got the new bacon one. Haven't tried that, but I got 2 regular chalupa supremes a few days ago. And I was like, yeah, it's just something about the shell that I don't like. I like the softer shell of a, here's the thing. My favorite tacos are crunchy tacos. Okay. That's it. You can't beat crunch when it comes to tacos and Mexican food to me, right? Okay. Honestly, I'll tell you this though. I don't mind a soft taco. I don't mind a gordita. I don't mind a soft shell. A chalupa is like in between. And like Jesus said at the beginning of the book of Revelation, I would rather you were hot and cold. If you're lukewarm, I spit you out of my mouth. And there's something about the chalupa trying to be in between crunchy and soft that offends me. It offends me. So I wish they had more gorditas. Right now they have the cheesy gordita crunch, which is honestly, I think the best thing on their menu right now. But, Fable, I mean, I get you. And Perry says, I enjoy it soft or hard. I get it. So then, okay. So you got the tostada fan art, which I love so freaking much. That's like my favorite thing right there. I love it. Okay. And then Bueller eating the chalupas, which I love the commitment there. When you got to do 3 though, hold it out, man. Don't speed it forward. Just do it. Just do it. I watched every single moment of you eating those chalupas, homie. You get what I'm saying? I watched every single moment of you eating those damn chalupas. Anyway, so then to complete this holy trinity of taco-ness on Comics YouTube, in the last 24 hours, just a few hours ago, we had Jim Mint join us for Talking Comics Live here on Wednesday nights, 7:30 p.m. I do my top 10, and then at 8 p.m. Central Time, I have a guest. This week it was Jim Mint. Next week, by the way, is allegedly Bueller. And I want to do a bit, Bueller. Let me know if you're game. Because here's what happened tonight. Jim comes on, we start talking, and then all of a sudden Jim goes, "Can you eat tacos on this show?" And I was like, "Yeah." So he starts eating tacos. Jim Mint comes on the channel and starts eating tacos. And literally a few weeks ago, someone in the PCP crew, excitable we are, it was Mike. Mike said, we got to get Todd McFarlane on the channel. I was like, I don't know if I want to have Todd on the channel, because the last interview I saw Todd do, right? I was like, the last interview I saw Todd do, he was eating his lunch during the interview. And I was like, I don't want to deal with that. And then Jim shows up. He's like, "You mind if I eat tacos?" He's eating dinner and it's tacos. And I'm like, yes, 100%, because it completed this holy taco Mexican food trinity between tostadas, chalupas, and then tacos. Between me, Bueller, and Jim, this is synchronicity. This is the universe telling us something, y'all. And I think it's telling us to really get on our asses about bullying Taco Bell into bringing back some of our old favorites. The chili cheese burrito, the enchilada, the Mexican pizza, the tostata, chicken wings, who cares? Nacho fries, big deal. We want those classics back, my friends. And you might as well make the 7-layer burrito a permanent fixture, because you have every single ingredient to do it. Anyway, I thought that was funny. I thought that was incredibly interesting. The taco theme that was going on. Anyway, so since Jim came on and ate tacos, and I was like, man, I wish I would have known I would have had tacos too. So Bueller, next week, let's each eat a chalupa while we're doing the video. Let's do it. What's the difference between a taco and a chalupa? A chalupa, I guess, is something a little bit bigger. Now, here's the thing. At Taco Bell, a chalupa is basically a flatbread taco, soft taco, but with it's fried a little bit, so it's got a little bit of crispness to it, but it's very soft in the center, and it's thick because it's like a thick flatbread. But when I go to any other Mexican restaurant and order a chalupa, I usually get like a tostada, to be honest. But here we go. All I ever said, it says, chalupa is a flour tortilla, deep fried. There you go. Comics with Bueller says, "You had me at hello. I'm down." Hell yeah. We're eating chalupa. It's Bueller. You did it. I don't know why, and I know you probably regret it to a point right now, because you're like, I don't want to be the chalupa guy, but let's let this run its course for a couple weeks. Bueller always comes up with great ideas. I think he regrets. Thunderdome, chalupas. Hell yeah. So what's up? How y'all doing? I was talking to Jim. Jim was unfamiliar with the character Midnighter. If you are unfamiliar with the character Midnighter, who was featured in the recent Superman book for Future State, they got plans for Midnighter and the Authority. If you've never read Warren Ellis and Brian Hitch's The Authority, you need to. And if you want to know more of my thoughts, well-rounded about that, then I would definitely recommend that you check out our Comics Revisited that me and Jelani did on The Authority by Warren Ellis. We're probably going to do another one, the Mark Millar one. So why not? Yeah, there it is. Bueller's like, it's the Thunderdome thing all over again. You could tell when Bueller was filming him eating those chalupas, he started realizing, he was like, I think what I'm doing is just utter ridiculousness. You can tell that he's feeling that. You can tell that he is just at the moment regretting this whole chalupa thing. But he does it. And that's why I love Bueller. Stay committed to the bit, my man. That's what you do. People have been telling us that they're tired of the station thing. They're like, we love Bill and Ted, but we're tired of the station thing. I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't think the station thing's going anywhere. It's our greeting. It means be excellent to each other and party on, dudes. What better greeting and farewell? Hey, Conquistadorks, what is up? Had a great chat with Bueller earlier tonight. It was a great comic book YouTube night, 100%. Perry, I use those cinnamon twists as packing for my AOKs. That's hilarious. Let me tell you something. Don't sleep on the cinnamon twists. They have always been there. They've never let that go. You would think that if Taco Bell wanted to streamline their menu, that would be it. Leads me to believe very little production. They ship that shit to them probably with it's probably packing material for stuff they send to Taco Bell, and then they just like crisp it up in some kind of like air fryer for like a few seconds, and then there you go. Why not? I hate eating in public, so I feel you. I don't like eating if I feel someone's watching me. I get that. That's got to be awkward. I'm going to do it next week, though. Me and Bueller are going to eat I'm doing this in solidarity with Bueller. We're going to commit to the bit. We need PCP. Somebody remember to remind me about this because I don't have my notebook in front of me. But commit to the bit. That's got to be a PCP shirt. Commit to the bit. Hashtag commit to the bit. Where's my notebook? Oh, my goodness. Anyway. So, speaking of Perry. So some funny things happened on the Behind the Comic stream tonight on Hialeah Comic Bros YouTube channel. You definitely need to check it out. Javi was obviously there. So somehow within the chat, I guess it got to this idea that what would happen to the coffee video if Bueller stepped away from it. And there was all kinds of stuff. And I said at one point, I would do it. I would do an all new, all different coffee and comic show. And then for some reason, I don't know who started this. I don't know if it was Fable or somebody else, but somebody commit to the bit. That's it right there. Commit to the bit. So for somehow, I don't know why, but Fable said something, or I think it was Fable. Somebody said something like, I think Perry could outsmoke Rockin' Robbie. And y'all, let me be honest with you. That offended me. Fable, you don't know me. Okay? Now, I don't know Perry, but you don't know me. And I'm just saying, I think we've started something. And then that led to the idea that me and Perry got to get together because he's down in Florida, right? It's not too far from me. We got to get down there and have a smoke out. And then that led to the idea that instead of, if Bueller ever stepped away from the coffee and comic show, there should be a new show called The New Cannabis and Comics Show with Rockin' Robbie and Perry. And I'm going to tell you something. I feel like that's going to happen in the future. It's not going to be an every week thing, but it's going to happen in the future. I feel it. By the way, Perry, I'll smoke you like a motherfucker. I'm just saying, I will prove it. You are worth it, but I will prove it. Y'all, you don't even know. Ask the PCP crew, excitable they are. Ask them. Who's never been out smoked. Not saying I do, because it's not, I'm just saying. Oh, man, there's a lot of good comic YouTubers down in Florida. I got to get down there again. Let's get Buds with Buds comic shows. Man, it's the new Cannabis and Coffee show. It's Cannabis and Comic show. Perry's like, I'm practicing right now. Fool, my whole life is practice. You're talking about practice. Not a game, but practice. My whole life's the playoffs then, brother. Shit, my whole life's the finals. There you go. Anyway, we'll have to do it down in Perry's area because that's where it's legal. Because I don't partake because it's not legal. Ain't nobody else smoke me. Oh, was that you, Fable? Was that you? If Cannabis and Comics becomes a thing, I'll be honest with you. I think that's a market that could really flourish. And honestly, I think me and Perry have two personalities that could make that work. I'm just saying. I'm biased, obviously, but I really think that. Somebody had asked if we're getting horror movies again soon. Horror movie reviews. Yes. First of all, there's a show I do with Dylan. I know, brother. I know. That's what I'm saying. That's why I got to get down there. Why I got to get down there. So there's a show we do on Saturday nights called Dylan's Horror Show. It's on Dylan's Comics. I am the co-host every single week with Dylan. Dylan is an expert and an encyclopedia of knowledge about horror films. And I have a lot of fun chatting with my brother about horror movies and comics and pop culture on Saturday night. So we're 2 episodes in, and we do have a movie review coming up on there in a few weeks, Slumber Party Massacre. So that's exciting. You are going to see us return on Friday nights, PCP movie nights. We will be returning to horror films for the duration of March, because in conjunction with Dylan's Horror Show, we're doing a slight mini horror fest in March, and we're calling it March Madness. So why not, right? So yeah, Friday nights in March, you're going to see horror movie reviews. And then we'll do some more fun favorites and poll winners. And then we're going into Action Fest. And then there you go. And then there you go. Bueller says Perry smokes so much he forgot he'd ever seen a movie. I love it. Who started that? Was that you, Fable? Jesus. Let me tell you something. Where's J Strick? Let's go Knicks. How about let's go Lakers? We play tomorrow night. That was a terrible, terrible, terrible finish against the Warriors the other night. Goodness gracious me. 420. Now, in 420, actually, the Friday before 420, me and Perry's going to be joining us on PCP movie night for Dazed and Confused. So I'm excited for that. So he can fake watching that movie for the first time. I'm just kidding. Lakers, hell yeah, station for the Lakers or whatever NBA team you like. There you go. Anybody been watching the Johnson Show? Right? Is it the Johnson Show? Yeah. The basketball show that Hialeah's been doing. It's been really fun. I've been watching it. What are y'all saying? That show could bring about a Cheech and Chong comic. Y'all don't ever. I'm just saying this, man. I'm just saying. So we did a Buckaroo Banzai movie review, because that's one of my favorite movies ever, right? And so we did a Buckaroo Banzai, and on that video, I said, I just want a series of books, novels to expand on this world. And then literally we got the news this week that Dark Horse is publishing a novel that's the sequel to Buckaroo Banzai by the original screenwriter. The Power, right? So this last week we did Josie and the Pussycats. And I said there needs to be a 20th anniversary Shout Factory edition on Blu-ray, released on Blu-ray for the first time. 20th anniversary in April with the soundtrack attached to it. Let's hope that happens. But what will happen from this next one? Because Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Time, PCP Movie Night. It's a live discussion of me and the excitable PCP crew, along with you, the PCP Army, about the 1986 animated movie classic Transformers. But join us tomorrow night for 8 p.m. Central Time with me and Manuel from Tomorrow Cinema. It's going to be a fun live chat, Rogan style, we like to call it. The power of the PCP Army. The power. Let's manifest that Josie and the Pussycats. There you go. But do you wish it? I Breathe, the Buckaroo sequel. I do not understand the title of Zach's new book. I really don't. I love Zach so much. I appreciate his work. I love Lonely Receivers, one of my favorite comics last week. My pick of the week was I Breathed a Body. I have read the first 2 issues. I feel like I'm picking up on a lot of what he's spinning there. I have no idea what the hell that title's representing. Maybe it's a reference to something and I'm missing it. I don't know. But do you wish it? Alistair! 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 That fucking movie. I swear. I've never had more fun with a crappy comic book movie than Wonder Woman 84. That movie, I actually love it because that movie cracks me the hell up. Like, that movie's like watching Troll 2 to me. So much fun. So much fun. Oh my goodness. If Perry can pretend to have never seen a movie and Robbie can do a movie that's twice as long as the movie itself, think about what they could do if they combine their powers. Priceless. That's a good point, Bueller. Just think about it. Maybe we could will anything into existence. Oh, goodness me. Carpenter's doing Wonder Woman 1985. I watched the hell out of Carpenter's Wonder Woman 1985. Let me tell you that. Can I tell you that? Can I just tell you that? I'd watch the hell out of that. Wonder Woman 84 was awful. New Mutants was much better. Well, you know how I feel about that. I think New Mutants wasn't very good, and it was kind of boring. Wonder Woman is fun to me because it's so bad. But what's better are these Tostada Doom Cocaine Bear things. My wife nudged me when I started laughing out loud at some scenes. The movie is funny. You got the touch, do. You got the power. You know, I haven't watched it yet. I haven't revisited it yet. It's been years since I've watched it. I am a casual Transformers fan. The movie's never moved me as much as it has other people in my generation. So I am excited to revisit it. And I think I'm going to do it. I was going to do it tonight, but instead I'm doing this. So I think I'll probably watch it tomorrow night after the show with Manuel. So we should do a movie reaction smoke marathon. How many movies can we dude, I'm down. Perry, okay, I'm going to tell you what. We're going to plan that shit. You near Tampa? I can get down to Tampa. We do like a whole weekend. If we can like arrange a whole weekend, both of us got time, I'll do it for a whole weekend long. And then we'll be like, oh, bro, we didn't even save the videos. We got so emblazoned, we didn't even save the videos, man. We don't know who else smoked who. We both just was like, you know, we don't want to spend all of our money. So we're just going to call it a truce. That's happened to me before. Been times we just look at your homies on a 420 and you're like, look, yo. I think we get it now at this point. 12 hours later, I just honestly don't want to spend any more money. I think we good. Anyway. Yeah, dude, it is amazing. I freaking love it. Like, those are getting... I'm going to get frames. I guess I'm going to holler at Mike. Mike's the frame expert. I'm going to get these framed and put up in the studios. These are freaking awesome. I love them. I love them so much. I love them so much. And it was a nice uplift this week. And it started this trifecta. I got the tostada paintings. Bueller ate a chalupa. And then Jim came on my channel and ate tacos while we were talking about comics. So y'all think about this. Jim had his comics in front of him and a plate of tacos. But at least his comics were in bags and boards. Unlike mine. What isn't Mike an expert of? That's the question. Fable, usually Mike is not the expert on what we're asking him to be an expert of on the show. That's a dig at Mike. Robbie, I can help you come up with a playlist for the Smoke-a-thon or make it a contest. I'll drive down for that. This is like it's going to be the event of the century. The smoke out. Let's try to get sponsors, Perry. Holler at anybody you know down there. See if you can get some sponsorships from some dispensaries or something. The soundtrack of Transformers is dope as hell. As the hours go on, the movies get worse. Bruh, we can hook that up. Sometimes you're just like, all right, man, I'm not done smoking, but can we stop watching this movie? What's the take on WandaVision so far? I am not going to try to spoil anything about the show. Here's what I think is happening, though. So you may consider this a spoiler. I got accused back in the day at the comic shop when Hush was being released of spoiling it because I said that obviously Hush is Thomas Elliot, but I believe Riddler's behind it all. And then it happened. So I'll say this. Take on WandaVision so far. I believe that Wanda is created some kind of a perfect life, right? Whether maybe subconsciously at first, but it's overtaken a pocket of reality, I believe. So Wanda's in this reality that she's created in which she can live the life that she thinks that she should have with Vision. And it's probably based on a lot of like Nick at Night that she watched as a kid over there, right? I think that Wanda's responsible. We see that in clues that are left in the commercial breaks in particular. Overall, I really like that it's going to be a tribute to sitcoms and TV from the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and onward. I think that's really nifty, a great structure for the show within the midst of this mystery. I think Wanda's creating this world. I think Sword is trying to inject people in there to help her out. I think Agatha Harkness is Agnes in the show. I think she's there to help or manipulate Wanda depending on which direction they want to take her, because at times Agatha's been a very benevolent figure in the Marvel Universe, and at times she's been a very villainous and malevolent figure in the Marvel Universe. So I think they could go either or there. It seems more like they would set her up to be the villain because it seems like Monica Rambeau is there as an agent of Sword to pull Wanda out of this or something. So I think that Wanda is being manipulated by Agatha Harkness into creating this reality warp, and maybe that's somehow connected to the nightmare thread that gets thrown into Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness. But that's just my thoughts on the first two episodes. I do like the structure. I think it's very weird that I don't see so many MCU fans that are not necessarily wholehearted comic book fans, right? I don't see so many of them feeling like it's kitschy and cool and neat and ginchy, right? But like, the structure of it seems like it would like throw a lot of people off and they wouldn't want to invest back in. However, people are really addicted to the MCU, and if Disney Plus has got something going, Mandalorian and the WandaVision and the Falcon and Winter Soldier, let's keep it going. You know, that could be cool. So we'll see what happens. There's a lot of speculation that Mephisto's behind everything. We shall see. Maybe he is. That could be cool. That could be cool. Oh, bro, do you know that if you got her to do Canto and the Daredevil pose for issue number 3, like on the cross, which they actually mimicked very well in that Ben Affleck movie, but that would be really, really cool. She somehow thought I meant Daredevil. Look, oh, that's weird. That's weird. What's up, TK's Back Cave Station? Interesting. If anybody's Mephisto in the show, I think it would be Dottie. Agnes is Agatha Harkness, 100%. You take a bunch of letters out, and Agatha Harkness becomes Agnes. So I think that's a given. Some people are thinking that Grim Reaper's in the show too. Maybe. It's something Wanda's doing, but I think she's being manipulated into doing it. But I think Sword's trying to save her, and they sent in Monica Rambeau, agent of Sword, and now she's trapped in this reality warp or whatever we want to call it. But then again, in the MCU, Wanda hasn't ever displayed these kind of powers. In the MCU, all Wanda does is make weird faces and red mist comes out. And I guess basically telekinesis, like that's what you get from her appearances in those movies. But her power level, we know from the comic books, is so much more than that, so much deeper, so much, honestly, reality changing. So I think they're leaning into that, I think. WandaVision hits a lot of teenage anxiety, how it advertises her being married. Back in the 60s, folks married young. Yes, they did. A lot of them divorced unhappily in the 80s, didn't they? We had a whole mess of kids because of it. I'm just kidding. That's just me joking. She did end up doing the Canto picture. That's cool. That's awesome. I heard Robbie's in WandaVision. No, it's not. Who is the beekeeper? Initially, I thought the beekeeper had some kind of connection to AIM. Because AIM is always known for their beekeeper suits. Plus, if you notice, there's a hexagonal motif that's used like throughout design-wise in the story. So I'm trying to piece that out as well. Like that's there for a purpose. It seems like Hyvee. It seems, bee-like, and I get that. So the beekeeper, I think, is connected to that. Then I was thinking AIM, but then I realized, no, AIM was actually used in Iron Man 2. Justin Hammer was Advanced Idea Mechanics, right? So there was Hammer Industries, but then they do Advanced Idea Mechanics. No, that was part 3, wasn't it? Wasn't that AIM in part 3? Guy Pearce, the extremist stuff. Anyway, so they've already kind of done that, but not in the beekeeper way. So I don't know. With the bees, it's kind of creepy. It gives you that, and she knows, and Wanda's in charge, and like she was like that. No. It's a really odd scene. That's repeating the scene from the first episode where. Dude, when Vision's boss starts choking, Wanda's doing that. And that's why Vision can't help her until Wanda allows him to. And that's why the wife from that 70s show keeps looking over at Wanda directly and says, stop it, stop it, stop it. And then it's like the same type moment. So I'm very interested to see what they're doing. She makes weird faces, then a red mist comes out. My mind went somewhere with that. Oh, yeah, okay. God damn. You're not wrong about the divorce rate. Yeah. House of M going down. How's House of M going down, though? Honestly, if there are no mutants. So the impact of House of M is related to mutants. So I mean, maybe they'll do a version of it, meaning like she's creating a new reality. I don't think that she's created a new reality over everything, though. I think it's like a pocket thing, kind of like a Pleasantville type thing, almost in a way. But a lot of people think the beekeeper could be a representation of Mephisto, but notice the beekeeper has a sword logo on his back. So I don't know. Robbie is Red X. No, I think Red X is Damian. I don't know shit about Red X, but I think it's Damian. The only Robin we haven't seen in future state except for Jason Todd. And if it's Jason Todd, I think that's redundant. Well, I was Red Hood, now I'm Red X. Maybe she creates the mutants. Would you like the idea of her creating mutants, or would you rather have the idea that they've always been there, just never mentioned? Yeah, and it's Wanda's vision, so her creation, exactly. Yeah, reality bubble. That's what I think, like a reality bubble. Swords trying to penetrate it. Agatha Harkness, I think, is more than likely set up to be the villainess of the show. Because in the comics, she kind of started out more in the villain role. Then she became more of a mentor to Wanda. And then, of course, she was the nanny of Franklin Richards throughout the 80s and 90s. So, Red X is the Penguin. Interesting theory. Interesting theory. There will be mutants coming from this in the Multiverse of Madness. Ghost Rider is going to have the foundation laid before the end of WandaVision, says Twitch. I hate that idea, but it's the MCU. Red X is Clown Hunter. That's another great guess, Patrick. I think that's very viable, to be honest. It's almost 11. We're about to wrap up in a few minutes. So any final questions? This is your chance. Sorry I didn't do a live stream this Sunday, but it just was a rough weekend. But we're back on the swing of things. Like I said, tomorrow night, me and Chamorro Cinema. Very excited for that. 8 p.m. Central Time. Friday night at 9 p.m. Central Time. PCP Movie Night, a live discussion of the 1986 animated Transformers movie. And then 9 p.m. Central Time on Dylan's Comics, Saturday night, Dylan's Horror Show. This episode is supposed to be all about horror comics. Our favorite horror comics. Station. We now pause for station identification. I love that bit. Commit to the bit. What if Red X just is? They never reveal it. People will be pissed. They will. But here's the thing. People like specking on the Red X first appearance, right? Right? And then it says it's just Damien. It's a virus all over again. Future State pick of the week is which book? For me, I hate to say this. My pick of the week was the Superman book. It's not worth $8. Most of it's filler, but I really liked the main Superman story. For the most part, I would say I liked it, though, because it had really good artwork. It did a similar Superman type story that we've seen combined with other elements of like Gladiator or something. But to be honest with you, I have been so down because I love Superman. I've been reading Superman since I was 5 years old, pretty much every single week almost, and it bums me out when I don't dig on Superman, and I can dig on some bad Superman books, but I just was not digging the last half of Bendis's run, and just having some kind of something new and different. And I was really, really excited for that. So my Future State pick of the week this week was that one, but I don't think any of them really stood out. I think this was the weakest week yet. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? Well, as much wood as a woodchuck would chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood. How about that? Will you be reviewing bad idea books? Only if they send them to me to review, because I don't have access to them otherwise, and I'm not going to go out of my way. But if they hooked me up, I would review. Are you picking up any Aliens comic covers from Marvel? No. Chi-Town Bud, I think they're really cool. A lot of them are really, really great. There's an upcoming one next week with Wolverine and an alien. I think that's from Wolverine number 9 or something. Fantastic. I don't buy Wolverine, though, and I don't buy books just for covers. Unless it's Blade or Night Thrasher, to be honest with you. Or sometimes, I mean, they get me sometimes. Aliens, though, they weren't able to get me. They're really great covers, though. They're really, really good. Really good. And I would applaud anybody for collecting all of them because they are dope. Dope, dope, dope. Next week, I'm really excited about Future State Dark Detective number 2. That's probably been my favorite Future State book so far, aside from Swamp Thing, has been Dark Detective. So I'm excited about issue 2 of that, and Dan Mora is the artist on that. It's not like Nick Darrington dipping out on the second issue of Next Batman. But I'm also really excited for Superman versus Imperious Lex, because it's Mark Russell. He's got a great satirical sense to his scripts, and I'm just interested in seeing his what is surely to be a wildly satirical and rambunctious take on the future of Lex Luthor. Totally enjoy your shows, Robbie, and I am old enough to be your dad. Well, I appreciate that. Weird stretch, but I do appreciate every weird stretch we get. Looking forward to Alien. Still have to watch Alien 4. Bruh, don't look forward to that. Just bear it. Just bear it. Bear away like we all did. Alien 4 sucks. Alien Resurrection's the worst, man. Oh my goodness. I hate that movie so much. Yeah, but yeah, Dark Detective number 2. Gonna miss Aliens with Dark Horse. Don't think Marvel can do it justice. I'm not that pumped. I mean, Philip Kennedy Johnson doing the writing. That's cool. Salvador LaRocca on the artwork. Is it safe to say Marvel's moved away from Snowflake and Safe Space? It seems like they have, to be honest. And I think that's one of the reasons why Eve Ewing left, maybe, because it seems like she's gone and they got a new writer. They got Danny Lore. They're coming in to do the Champions. And I'm actually very excited about that because I really respect Danny's work. I love their work on a book called Queen of the Damned. It's a vault book that they did with oh my goodness, I can't remember the artist right now. But anyway, really good stuff. Queen of the Damned. Not Queen of the Damned. Queen of Bad Dreams. I'm just Queen of the Damned. What the hell's wrong with me? But I want a new Warriors book with Night Thrasher. I don't care about Snowflake Safe Space. Now I know that they were going to be the main focus and it was probably not going to be good. I want a book with Night Thrasher. I don't care. I don't care if it sucks. Just give it to me. I want a book with Night Thrasher. That's it. I want a book with the old school New Warriors. It's my jam, man. I wonder what's next for the Mo 2 comic. I don't know. Masters of the Universe? I don't know. They just did the whole multiverse thing. DC still got the rights. Do they want to do something with it? Or are they going to sell the rights to somebody else? I think it's time for somebody else to get the rights and do a reboot, kind of along with some of the new animated series coming out. Joss Whedon wrote the Aliens. Yeah, I know. It's so bad. And I love Buffy and Angel and Firefly, of course. Yeah, I really liked Eve Ewing too, but I don't think her schedule ever fit the bill there, to be honest. She is good at writing young people. Will Marvel cave about removing the Punisher symbol? It's ridiculous talk. I was planning on doing a bit about this on the Rock and Robbie Live this Sunday, but my basic thoughts are I don't think we're going to see any change, but I think it will be a little bit longer until they do a Punisher book. But I think once it's that idea settles down, and Bueller said this best, I think he said, you see more outrage about people talking about people being outraged. You see more people in the media talking about people being outraged about the Punisher symbol than people you know in real life being outraged by the Punisher symbol. So I think what's going to happen is it's going to be a little bit longer until Marvel publishes a Punisher book. And maybe when they do, they abandon the symbol for a little bit. I don't think that would be a bad thing. I think it would actually make more sense for him not to wear that costume. I mean, honestly, for the character and the way he's portrayed sometimes, it seems a bit ridiculous. Now, obviously, it's an iconic look, and eventually it will be returned to. It's a death's head. But you just got to play the changing times as they come about. Remember, the 70s were deemed at times to have a progressive movement in it as well, an anti-violence movement, and I get that, and that's really cool. But at that same time, we had, Death Wish and Punisher, shit like that. So Wolverine, they need to continue doing what they do because they represent something within all of us, and we need to not deny the fact that there's a killer inside of us if we are ever brought to the brink to be like a Frank Castle. I think we're all somewhat capable of that. And I think we need to recognize that. And the more that we don't recognize that, then there you go. Night Thrasher was in Last Remains. Don't care. That doesn't count. That doesn't count. Yeah, Punisher Soviet was good. I went back and I reread all of it. Who would I like to see get the Motu rights? To be honest, right now, Boom Studios. It seems like Boom's doing the best work with licensed material, including Power Rangers in particular. So there you go. Historically, it would have been Dark Horse, then IDW, but right now I think Boom does the best work with licensed material. I would like them to get a hold of the Masters of the Universe franchise, and y'all, I know we want to. The dream artist on everything is Dan Mora, but could you imagine Dan Mora doing a He-Man Masters of the Universe book? Bruh. Even if it was just for like 6 or 12 issues, like the Power Rangers run. Oh my God. Let Once and Future wrap up. Let him do some Batman work. And then let Boom get the Motu rights. And then let's see Dan Mora on a Motu book. I don't even care who would write it. My dream. Could you imagine Grant Morrison doing it? Motu fans would hate it. Anybody could probably write that, to be honest. Ryan Parrott, let's try him out. But Dan Mora on a He-Man Masters of the Universe book. By the way, my boy Mike hooked me up with these stands for my Motu figures. So now I can start standing up more of my Motu figures, and it's great. These stands work so well. Look, he's just up on top of Grayskull, hadn't fallen yet. Look at these. They're great. And these ones are done to look like the floor of Castle Grayskull. How cool is that? Mike's the best. Mike is the best. And I also got a set that he gave me that's set up to look like the floor of Snake Mountain. So pretty dope. Just one bad day. We're all one bad day away. And I think that's the beauty of characters like the Punisher, even characters like the Joker, though I do love a more ambiguous origin. But I think that's the beauty of those kind of stories and those kind of characters. Falling Down's a great movie. Pepe Larraz Motu would be great, but you'd have to pull Pepe away from Marvel right now, which would be difficult. Dan's probably easier to pull back. especially when DC doesn't want to keep up with them page rates, because you always already see the exodus of some of the talent there. Anyway, we are dipping out. Thank you guys so much for a great live stream. We've had a lot of fun on YouTube tonight. Thank you guys so much. I am Rockin' Robbie Bill's Station. We'll catch you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Central Time for Rockin' Robbie Live with Tomorrow's Cinema. Y'all have